Hey guys, happy Sunday! Welcome to our weekly collective reading, collective tarot oracle reading. So let's see what this week has cooked up for us. But first and foremost, if you don't know who I am Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. If you want to learn a little bit more about me, check out that information box down below for my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com, my Patreon group, my YouTube members. Also, maybe check out my newsletter and my Leon Mystery School. Lots of good stuff, Desert Cauldron. All that information is down below, but let's go ahead and get started. So I have all the goodies lined up for us today. Let's see, Susie, hey, says love those glasses. In the little thumbnail picture. Well, thank you. Those are, I have like the I guess you can't get any lower in a prescription eyeglass, but they're mainly meant for glare. Like I can't, sometimes with indoor lighting, it messes with my eyes. And every once in a while, my little stigmatism acts up, and then I have to wear my glasses, but only for an hour until my eye can correct, and then, yeah. So, anywho, elemental glasses anyway. Sherry Bug, hey. So, all right, you guys, I have some fabulous decks here with us. I am using my Wally's World, of course, as I do every time. And if you guys are interested in Wally's World, that link for that is down below. I'm also going to be busting out my Happy Tarot today. I, haven't used it in a while. Figured it'd be a little funsies. I also have my charms, because I know you guys dig those, and I like playing with them too. So we're going to bust those out. I also have my color, deck of color, which here are the backs to those. So yeah, we'll definitely bust those out as well. Hold on, let me just put those away. Sherrybug says, I've missed these live chats. Well, welcome. I know you've been working hard. How is work, by the way? How's it going over there? I'm also going to use the Seeds of Shakti and Tarot of the Cradle, which I keep in this lovely bag that James's mom gifted me for Christmas. So, or actually no, my birthday. So yeah, I love the backs of these, and they came all the way from India. So, digging this deck. Okay. Before we get started, I always cast an elemental circle so that the area here is nice and clean, and all the messages that we get are as high vibe and for our best and highest good as possible. And also just so that you guys can be included within that circle as well. So that circle extends beyond to your sacred space as well, so that we can all vibe high in here, work collectively. If you guys get any sort of intuitive hits throughout this live chat, of course, that's what the live chat is for, so you guys can comment. That's why I like doing these things, so you guys can offer your input, your opinion, your intuition. If you want to sling some cards with us, it's like my favorite thing to do. So, so let's do this. Let's see. Let's go back here. Susie was saying we miss you, Sherry Bug. Hey Billy says hi, a little late, sorta out in a puddle in the kitchen, was defrosting the freezer. Oh, I know how that goes. I've spent many a time defrosting freezers. Sherry Bug says this, it's going good, just so much keeping me busy, I bet. Don't forget to, take care of yourself, take care of your energy. Annette, how are you? She says good morning, everyone. And Billy says, hi everyone, how are you all? Sherry Bug's like, puddles in the kitchen are never good. Okay, so like I said, let's go ahead and cast that circle. So we're gonna use my handy dandy little candle here. And with the intention, fire's intention, we're gonna use that to burn away anything that doesn't suit us, not for our best and highest good. Anything that may be blocking our intuition today. So let's go ahead and burn that all away. Okay. Put my little match in my fire safe tray there. And then also going to take my Palo Santo for a bit of that air energy to sweep through, blow out anything that doesn't serve us at this time, and that may impede on our ability to read. Just getting that little Palo Santo stick going. There we go. All right. Feeling good, feeling good. Okay, and then I have my Florida water. Again, water just to wash away and cleanse anything that does not serve us. Let's see, let's go back here. Susie says, pretty makeup. Thank you. I felt like, you know, I don't really wear makeup all that often, but I felt like, hey, you know, why not give it a go today? Lily, hello, Joss, how are you? Tiny Trinkets and Tarot, what up, Ange? She says, hello, everyone. Billy said, it's so hot here. Having a play with the snow and ice is in the heat was kind of nice. I bet. I was thinking, isn't it a little, you guys going through a little heat wave over there? So I think, I don't know, it might be kind of nice to clean out the freezer in a heat wave. Kayla, how are you? Billy said, is your new model? I have a need. I need to read. I know. I have a need to read. Oh my gosh. Sharebug was said, I bet to Billy. Glad to hear it wasn't a surprise puddle. It's been gross here too, just in the 80s, but the humidity is so high that it's still yucky. Ugh. Yeah, here our weather is just, I don't know, it's like hot and then humid and then dry and humid and I don't know, kind of all over the place. Once I finish doing our elemental circle and everything, I'll catch you guys up on this past week, which has been interesting. Billy said 33 later in the week, so doing it while it's just 24 degrees. I'm not touching the cards in this heat. You might need to keep your cards in the refrigerator at that point. Okay, so using a little bit of this Florida water, let's just wash away any stagnant stuff, any muck, anything not for our best and highest good. Feels good, feels good. It feels good, yeah. Okay, and then also one last thing before I get to Earth, the Earth element. I have a spray called my Fairy Sparkle Spray. You guys can find this in my shop, Kittens, Weights, and Tarot on Etsy. And in here, I add a little something extra. I put some clear quartz in there just to kind of give it some amplification. But I've really been liking including the elementals, including the fae into my clearings and things that I'm doing. So I usually use this on my altar, but I figured I would use it during the live chat as well. So I just do 3 little spritzes. And I know you guys can't smell it because we don't have smell-o-vision yet, but it's like if you fell into a garden with so many flowers you couldn't count them. That's what this smells like. It's just like being bam in the middle of a garden, flowers all up in your face, like so many different kinds of flowers. And definitely has like that, I don't know, I just really like the high vibe nature of it. So anyway, yeah, you guys can find this in my shop, but yeah, in the meantime, Fairy Sparkle Spray. Okay, so now let's get to the Earth element. Let's see here. Billy's like, sounds like you got 50 Shades of Heat. Tiny Trinket says, no low vibes here. Yeah, dude. Susie says, I love to catch up story time. Oh, thank you, Sherrybug. Sherrybug says that my sprays are yummy. Ange says, I need smell-o-vision. We do, seriously, because a lot of things like I show sometimes, they're very olfactory. You guys need to be in on this. Billy said, as a kid, I used to put acorns in a special place for the fairies. I would gather berries for them too. Aw, that's so sweet. And hopefully you continue doing so. Okay, for the earth element, I have this beautiful inner Mongolian quartz. And it has, if you're wondering like, what's that stuff that's on that quartz, sorry. This is called specularite, and it's a crystallized form of hematite. So with having the inner Mongolian quartz, and then you have this basically crystallized hematite on this, to me, is the most earthy, grounding thing you can have. Plus, not all of them sing, but let's see, my microphone's here. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Maybe I'll do this. No, I probably need another crystal for it. But they sing. They have like a ting ting, like a really high vibration sound to them. So, I mean, you can't bash them together, but if they lightly touch each other like two Mongolian quartzes, they tend to make a really singy sound. Too bad I can't make that sound for you guys. But anyway, I love it. I love the sound of it, love the vibes of it. You know, it's like it's this, to me, super high vibe, but also keeping us firmly planted in Gaia. So anyway, I'm going to use this for my wand today because I do like to use crystals as wands, not just like wands that we make. So anyway, this you can find in Desert Cauldron. The link is down below if you're interested, but in the meantime, I get to use all the stuff that we sell. So okay, so let's go ahead and cast that circle starting at the north. Oh, there we go, that clink clink. Calling in the elementals of the north to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the west to help us to cast our circle today. Sorry, east. Getting my east and west, so sorry, elementals of the east, helping us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the south to help us to cast our circle today. And calling in the elementals of the west to help us to cast our circle today. Our circle is cast, let our work begin, and so it is. All right, yay! Thank you, Quartz. All right, so if you guys want to go grab your decks, if you are going to be using decks, then go ahead and grab them. Let us know what you're working with. If you're just going to be working on maybe some channeling like Lisa was doing last week, or maybe you just want to, you know, use good old-fashioned intuition, looking outside your window for messages, you know, maybe some things that the birds are doing, you see the animals or the plants doing something in the sky. Definitely utilize that. And yeah, let's do this weekly reading together. Oh, thank you, Billy. Billy put the link to Desert Cauldron if you guys are interested. Okay, so next on the list, while maybe you guys are grabbing your decks, I want to talk a little bit about the Mayan astrological message for this week. So if you don't know, I'm a Mayan astrologer. My link is down below for the Leon Mystery School if you're interested in learning about Mayan astrology. I wouldn't say it's too terribly different than the other astrologies out there. What I think is excellent is when people know more than one astrology from more than one region of the world. And although they may have different perspectives, I do feel that when they're all put together, they have very similar messages just from a different perspective, which I think is really cool. Okay, so this week, starting today, we're starting off with 10 Kib, and Kib is known as the it's a Nahual of ancestors, but also of forgiveness. So the number 10 being our connection to all things, we think about our karma today. So we think about not only the karma that we have created in this lifetime, but also our past karma with past lives, ancestral karma, all of that. And we make a connection with our ancestors today to work on healing and releasing much of that karma. So basically working on your shadows, working on traumas and things like that, whether it be in this lifetime or in past lifetimes. Today is a wonderful day to work on that. So connecting with your ancestors, whether they be the ancestors within your bloodline or just the ancestors of the earth. Today is a great day for that. So just a little FYI. Lily said, Angel and Ancestors Oracle, excellent. You know what, I used that one yesterday during a client reading. Susie has the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, excellent. Excellent. Okay, and then we are going to be ending our Trecena this week, you know, in the next few days. But by the time we end this week, which our weekly reading is from today until Saturday of next week, we end with 3 Eek. So Eek is known as the hurricane. It's also the winds that rush through. It's also a year lord, by the way, and there's 4 year lords. The number 3 often poses challenges, whether it be in trying to get something done and you encounter a blockage, or physical, there's just traffic, on the road. Other times it could be mental blockages, emotional blockages, usually happen around 3 days. But also the number 3, we're reminded of the 3 hearthstones, which is part of one of the mythologies in Mayan belief. And so when we feel like we're encountering blockage after blockage, which we may next Saturday, we basically ground ourselves in the hearthstones. And as I've been talking about all this grounding, talking about the specularite that's on here, which is, crystallized hematite. Maybe there are some crystals that you want to work with to help you ground yourself if you do feel that you're encountering roadblock after roadblock on Saturday. So just working on your grounding, remaining present, and then helping you to get a little bit more creative. How can I get around this roadblock? And so Eek, being a year lord and also being about the winds of change, how could you change up the situation? How can we get this wind blowing in a different direction so that you can continue whatever it is that you are doing next week? Also knowing that emotions can be running high next week as well, with that number 3 paired with the hurricane, which could be volatile. Sometimes it's a gentle breeze, sometimes it's a gale force winds. So you might notice that you might be more apt to switch, be more moody. You're okay one minute, but then the next minute, the hurricane breaks loose. So just, be careful of that. If you find yourself doing that, or people around you, remove yourself from the situation, ground yourself, and then how can we come back to the situation later, maybe with a different perspective, different ideas of how to go about getting whatever it is that you need to get done. All right, so that's the Mayan message for the week. Let's go up here. Butterfly Love Child said putting furniture together, so I'll have to watch on the replay. All right. Are you doing a little IKEA put together, or like actually putting some furniture together? Billy said, my ancestors have been kind and close this week. I needed some things I couldn't find online, and then did house forage and found what I needed in in your late father's tin. So yay, ancestors! So cool. That is awesome. Sherrybug said 3 has been my number since I was a little girl. There you go. Overcoming challenges. For me, my lucky number has always been 4. Like that's just my number. Okay. Then we go into the herb of the week, and I kind of went around and I was connecting to like late summer, here in the Northern Hemisphere. And when I think of late summer, I think of blackberry. So I have blackberry leaf here. And also I have on my altar for Lanasa, which was this week, or Lammas, in the Northern Hemisphere, I have, it's kind of the god of blackberries and things like that. And since I don't have my blackberry bush anymore, which is in San Diego, I used to put like little blackberries on my altar as kind of an offering, and also an offering to the Fae. But anyway, I love blackberry leaf. I love blackberries. But blackberry leaf, in a magical sense, if you would like to utilize this in teas, or maybe you want to use it in creating an incense or a little spell pouch or something to put underneath your pillow, this is really good for healing. It's good for protection. It's good for bringing in abundance, or even bringing in money. And it's definitely connected to, some people pronounce it Brie, some people pronounce it her name, Bridget, or Bridget. So, which actually is interesting, because that was almost my name. My mom was like really stuck on giving my brother and I strong Irish names or Gaelic names. And so she wanted to name me Bridget or Brie. But anyway, I came out to her anyway, so. All right, so that is the metaphysical properties. But if you're looking for more physical properties, what can be gained from this? Well, blackberry leaf in it has many antioxidants, but it also is an astringent. So if you wanted to find and create your own natural facial toner for the skin and tighten and tone the skin, blackberry is really good for it. I know sometimes people use a mixture of like witch hazel and stuff, but blackberry is really good. Also, if you can find fresh blackberry leaf, and maybe you can clean off the leaves, oftentimes people, well, mostly in ancient cultures, but you know, you can do it now. They chew on the leaves for gum health. It's supposed to be really good for your gums, really good for your teeth. Also, if you're going to make it into a tea, or maybe you're preparing something else that you may ingest with it, it's good for your gastrointestinal health, as well as if you are suffering from a little bit of diarrhea, that helps out with that too. So good for your insides, good for the outsides. Blackberry leaf. So yay, maybe you guys want to check it out, and hopefully, you know, maybe you guys have blackberry just wild and abundant wherever it is that you live. Okay, so let's go back here. Susie's like, IKEA assembly required. Okay, so Susie used the oats from last week. Yay! How did it go? How did you use it? And then Susie was like, blackberry, yes, yes. Billy said, I had oats for breakfast today. Great for the anxiety. Also, abundance, maybe bringing in an abundance of calm. Butterfly said, IKEA puzzle pack and play for adults. I know, right? Angela says, hello, everyone. Blessings. Yay, yay. So many awesome people in the chat. Susie's like, I can't see you as a Bridget. Yeah, I know. I'm like, I was like looking at my mom. I'm like, Bridget, like where, what? She was like, I was thinking Bridget Bardot, you know, that kind of Bridget, but also it's a nice Irish name. She's all, it's a goddess name. I'm like, I don't know about Bridget. Let's see, let's go back here. Ishani, hello. Ishani says, hello, everyone. Yay, yay. So cool. Sherrybug has lots of blackberry on the farm here. Oh my gosh. What do you make with all the blackberry? Do you do jams? Do you do anything with the leaves? Do tell. Susie had maple oatmeal. Sounds delicious. Annette said oatmeal almost every morning. Beautiful. And Susie says, now I need to have blackberry jam this week. Excellent. Yeah, I'm like thinking, I was so upset because the blackberries weren't on sale last time we went to the grocery store, but hopefully next time we go grocery shopping, maybe the blackberries will be on sale and then I can get some and continue to use it in our, I make little water infusions for James, so I want to put some more, do more blackberry stuff in there. Angela says, now I want pound cake with blackberry jam. Oh dude, pound cake is so good. Blackberry jam? Okay. All right, so we have our decks here to go into our weekly reading. We have the Wally's World, which is my deck, and then we have the Happy Tarot here. And then you guys, I know some of you guys went and grabbed your decks, but if you have a deck in hand, let us know what you're working with, or just let us know if you're doing downloads, intuition. Sharebug said, eat the berries as I mow. I use the leaves for protective properties. That's so cool. Dude, if you're just like out there, just, I love when you can just like pick like fruit and you're just like, just abundance and magic at my fingertips. Like, it's my favorite thing, by the way. Susie said, that is smart and fun. Okay, so I said that I had a bit of story time because I have a few things to share with you guys here. They're off to the side here, so as I'm looking at them. Okay, so James and I went up to our property up in the mountains here, and we're mostly just like kind of figuring stuff out with the house still, you know, as we're kind of prepping the land and everything. So we're doing stuff up there with that. But okay, James convinced me to start doing videos of my channeled things that I do. He's really good at asking questions, and then I can sit there and just channel. So we have a couple of videos coming up that we'll post to the channel, but we might be creating a separate channel as well, a new channel of just the channelings that I do. So if you guys are interested, I'll tell you more about that later on. So anyway, so we're doing that, basically just, you know, chillaxing on our property. It was beautiful out there, but we had some lightning storms coming in, some electrical storms, and during one of the channelings, I think it was on the first day, we had this beautiful sunset going on, but since we're in the mountains and there's like nothing for miles, it's just all juniper trees and pinyon pines and things like that, we could see lightning in the distance to the north, and then there was lightning like to the east, like going on pretty crazy, and not a whole lot of thunder. But then we decided, since it was getting a little crazier, it was time to go into our tent. You know, we just have a little tent. And so once we were in there, we could hear all of a sudden the rumblings of thunder, and the storm was getting closer and closer. And I love storms, by the way. And I was kind of bummed because I knew that we had to close the little flaps on the tent, you know, in order to keep the moisture out, because it was starting to rain a little bit. And it's not just like little drizzles, like it's like big drops, like this big, just, you know, hitting the tent. And then all of a sudden the lightning was kind of over us, and it was, even though we had the flaps closed, it would light up the inside of the tent like it was daylight outside. So so it was this nonstop lightning. Like it would be lightning, 1001, 1002, 1003, lightning, 1001, lightning, 1001, lightning. You know, it was just crazy. And then the wind started picking up, and it was like the tent was rocking and blowing, almost like crushing the tent with the wind, because it was like gale force winds outside. And then the rain was going, and it started raining so hard that the tent, although water resistant, not waterproof, but water resistant, it wasn't getting a chance to allow the water to run off. So we sprung a leak in a couple of places. Not too bad, not anything that, you know, I couldn't handle with like the washcloth that I had in there. I was like trying to like keep our little our little holes, you know, like just keep the water out as best we could. And then all of a sudden the thunder came in, and I've never heard thunder so loud in my life. It was so loud that James put in earplugs in his ears because he thought he was going to go deaf from the thunder, because it was like, you know, this like crack in it, like you could feel it reverberating in your chest, like reverberating. You're just like boom. And it was kind of deafening. And then there was lightning that literally struck like right outside the tent, like not too far from us. It was like it was just striking. It was insane. He thought we were gonna get struck by lightning. I was like, no, I think we're cool. But I thought that was for me, that was fun. I thought that was great. I love being like, I was sad I couldn't see the storm, because we had to keep, you know, all the flaps closed. But anyway, so the vegetation up there, because of all the rains they have been having up in the mountains, everything is so freaking green. There's plants that I didn't even know grew up there, and I haven't been able to identify all of them yet. One of my main things is, wherever I live, I need to identify all of the plants. I need to know what I'm working with, what energies are here, what is beneficial for what within the ecosystem, how do birds utilize it, how, you know, what ants or bugs, or, you know, how do they interact with the plants. I like to kind of see the, you know, synergisticness of it all. So anyway, there was that. And I also collected some rocks, as we do. Let me see, let me go back here. Billy said, when the cherry tree was full of fruit, I left the higher ones for the birds. Oh, you have a cherry tree? That's so cool. Annette has the White Sage Tarot Energy Archaeology cards, or Oracle. Billy's like, ooh, exciting, tell us more. And Sherry Bug said, a channeling channel. I know, right? Angela said, I got my Le Vampire Oracle. I'll do 1 card draws today. Excellent. Sherry Bug has the 78 Tarot Animal Edition. Angela said, guard card is enlightenment. How fitting. I don't think I need to explain that. And it's like, you guys are crazy. Angela said, enlightenment is different for everyone after all, because our lives are different. So what does enlightenment mean for you? What do you want to be brought to life, to manifest it? I love storms. That sounds beautiful. And yeah, I trust Gaia to protect me when I'm in the outside. I know, right? Angeli, hello, hello. Oh, yay. So, okay, so I did, you know, I took a lot of video pictures. I put it up on Instagram, you know, for people to see. But like I said, I do bring back some rocks. And so this rock was interesting. I'm not really sure what type of rock this is, but it's got almost like the edges have been man chipped away, or chipped away by man. because it is rather sharp. Like if I wanted to cut something, all I would have to do is just like maybe saw it a little bit. So this is a very sharp, like cutting rock, which I think is cool. I don't think it's obsidian, although it might be a mixture of obsidian and maybe jasper, because we have a lot of jasper on the property. We have a ton of jasper, petrified wood everywhere, like it's just everywhere. Big old chunks, small chunks. We have a lot of chalcedony, we have a lot of calcite. Every once in a while we'll come across some broken geodes, and there might be some druzy. There's often a lot of druzy on stuff. There's a lot of iron and hematite, quartz. I came across some green stones. I'm not quite sure what those are yet. I'm trying to identify all the stones on the property basically. But yeah, I thought this was unique, so I picked it up and brought it. And basically when we move there, all these stones are going back. So and we do give them out in Desert Cauldron. Like when people buy things from us, we like to incorporate like a little bit of Arizona. So we put a little bit of our stones that we find on our property, or basically when we're out and about in Arizona, and we put those in the packages. Susie's like, rocks, crazy cool. Angela says you should make the stone into an athame. Dude, I could actually. That would be a really good idea, actually. Angela said it would be great for circle opening. And Susie said, hashtag burning sage. Hey, we're working on that too. Angela says, I'll be getting something from your Etsy as soon as I'm able. All right, well, cool beans, cool beans. Okay, so here's some other things we found. I think these are very similar. But you could tell these are reddish in nature, and they have some black streaks going through them. So what these are, this is red jasper. Each of these is red jasper. But the coloring is just a little bit different, because these black streaks that you guys see, and if we're in the sun, this would actually sparkle a little bit. This is hematite and iron, which is giving it those black or dark streaks there. So you have these being very, very grounding. Red jasper, you know, connected to the root chakra. And then you're pairing that with hematite, so just grounding to the max. And then I just posted something to Desert Cauldron's Instagram page, but I was talking about these types of stones that ancient cultures actually used to use. Red jasper to staunch wounds. Also, if there was an infertility problem, they would use a lot of this red jasper to aid in one's fertility. But it is considered very protective. It is very grounding. So yeah, pick yourself up some red jasper / hematite. But yeah, well, when we collect these, the thing is we might want to put these in people's packages. Okay, and then I have these 3 other stones that we found. They're very orangey, which actually is connecting to your sacral chakra. Let's see. Sharebug says, is anyone else's audio going in and out? Hopefully you guys are hearing me okay there. This is loving the energy in this live today. Is so awesome. Yay! Sure. Susie's like KWT. Okay, so it looks like other people's audio is okay. Could just be internet connection, perhaps. But we have these kind of, we don't find a lot of these, but they're orange and they're bubbly. And then this is another one, almost looks like, I don't know, like orange sherbet or something. And this is one that James had found. It's actually a little translucent. Like I can see it because the light's behind you guys, or behind the camera. But I believe these are calcites, like kind of an orangey calcite, and possibly some other mineral. But that's what I'm guesstimating just based on what I know of crystals. But really good for sacral chakra stuff. So anyway, my little orangies here. Whenever I do find the green stones, since they're so rare, I just kind of keep them off to the side. Okay, some other things I found, since we do have pinyon pine out there, I do notice that they sap a lot. And in the sand or in the dirt, I found some little pinyon pine sap, and I burned a little bit while I was up there because I did a land clearing, and actually we recorded that. So if you want to see the land clearing video, it's going to air tomorrow at noon. But these are the other little pieces of resin that we found, the sap from the pinyon pines. And it was just on the ground, almost looking just like amber, although I don't think it's that old. But yeah, so I burned some of it. It had a very pine mesquite smell to it, really good for clearing. So yeah, I'm just keeping these for maybe a special occasion. I don't know if you guys can see, they're still a little dirty. But that's okay. Dirt don't hurt. All right, so yeah, just kind of wanted to share about that. Let's see. Billy says maybe refresh your page or close it and come back. Oh, for the audio. Okay, so Sherrybug says she re-entered the chat and maybe that seemed to have helped. Okay, excellent. All right, you guys, let's use this little singing bowl and let's get started. Looks like everybody has the decks that you're gonna work with if you are working with decks. All right, let's get started. Okay, so question number one. Well, for this one, I'm just gonna pull 4 cards for the week to get just an idea of the energy. We're gonna get our messages that way. So I don't have a particular question lined up other than what are the messages for us this week, what do we need to know for our best and highest good? With Wally's World, I am going to pull a theme card, so if you guys want to do that too, maybe pull a theme card, and then maybe if you have a second deck, or maybe you can use the same deck, pull maybe 4 cards for the week, and then we'll kind of gather with those messages, or if you want to pull more cards, it's totally up to you, or less. What messages can we gain for this week? You know, what can we look forward to? What can we look out for? You know, things like that. Susie's like, those snake earrings are amazing. Thank you. You know, actually, James's sister made these for me. They're little coral snakes that we have here in Arizona. So she was making like little Arizona type, you know, earrings. So she made me little saguaro cactuses. She made these little coral snakes, and then she also made, it's a full moon with a black cat in front of it. They're like little, well, they're not little, they're kind of big earrings. So she's super talented, by the way. Like, it seems like anything she tries her hand at, she's just really good at, you know. Like, she can do woodworking. She obviously now can do, like, you know, some clay work. So just, I don't know, I think these are pretty rad. So let's see here. Susie's like, sounds so enchanting. And just said, grabbed Magical Mermaids Oracle by Lucy Cavendish just before the circle opened. Guard card is fertility, and so we have enlightenment and fertility. And Susie said, Lucy Cavendish is one of my favorites. Me too. Susie's like, sell those please, hint hint. Hey, we've been trying to tell her that, you know, she needs to start selling like the things that she makes, but she's like, oh, they take so much time. And we're like, well, yeah, you would be compensated for your time, you know, by the, you know, pricing it accordingly. But I don't know. I think she needs to make some things, and maybe like that could be her calling, because she's really good. Billy said, reminds me of the cave painting style art. Oh, I know, right? All right, so, ooh, and my hearing just went out. That's interesting. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna pull a theme card here with Wally. Wally Walito. Actually, you know what? Wally was in my dream last night. Now I didn't really remember my dream until right. I still don't remember my dream. All I remember is there was a part where I was so happy to be rubbing Wally's face again. Like, I was rubbing his whiskers, I was petting him, I was rubbing his ears, I was petting his tummy. And it was like he kept changing colors. He went, you know, because Wally is kind of like a light tan, whitish cat, because he's Siamese. He's a well, he's not a seal point, but he's a silver point Siamese, so he's a little bit lighter in color. And he was turning into like a black cat, and then he was a gray cat. So it was weird. He was like morphing colors in my dream. That's all I remember. But anyway, was just reminded because I just busted out my Wally's World. So anyway, Susie's like, maybe she will. I hope so. I hope if we keep bugging her, like maybe, that would be awesome. Okay, so let's see what message Wally has. It was so nice to connect to Wally's energy in the astral during my dream state. I do miss my boys. Oh, looks like we have a card. All right, let's look at the theme for this week. Ooh, we have this beautiful card, which was actually taken in the UK by our friend Cosmic Creeper. If you know who she is, she's a wonderful member of our community. She mostly does stuff on Instagram now and her Patreon. But she is I would say, a naturalist. She loves to be out in nature. She knows everything about all the animals out there and everything. And so this is a very peaceful spot for her, where she kind of goes to the end of this little mini dock and does a little meditation out there in the duck pond. Angela says, I pulled a theme card for each deck. The vampires is nobility and the mermaids is contumacy. Hey! A divination card from the mermaids. Very cool. Okay, let's dive into this one. But I like the contumacy one. That is something that I do. Okay. And by the way, if you're wondering where Wally is, he's right there. He's been photoshopped in the bushes back here, just watching. Okay. Okay, the theme for this week, I feel like I'm walking to the end of this little landing here, this little pier. And that I'm in this quiet, tranquil pause to just look at everything that's around me. So perhaps that's something that could be very beneficial for us this week. I know that there's a lot of go, go, go. A lot of people have been really busy. Sherry Bug, I know you've been very busy. But if we can find time this week to maybe not just one day, but perhaps for short segments each day this week, to pause and just look around us with your physical eyes. Look around you. If I were to open my eyes right now, which is hard to do when I'm channeling, but I would I'm facing the kitchen. Look at everything that's within the kitchen. Look at everything that's within your refrigerator, everything that's in your freezer, every little thing. And kind of do this scan, not only in your immediate environment, but then start thinking about the people that are in your life, the people that you interact with on a regular basis, people that you maybe don't interact with so much. And it's more of a reflection, just a reflective period. Is there anything that I would like to change? Is there anything that I would like to show gratitude for? Is there anything that I need to release? Just taking that moment to look at your physical environment this week. Everything that's in your physical world. Yes, I know that we do this on the energetic level quite often, in our 4 and 5D selves, but also take a look at 3D. When you look at that fridge, what is something that first comes to mind? Well, first off, I could be grateful that I do have food in the fridge. I do have something to drink. I have something to eat. I'm not starving. I don't have to worry about where my next meal is coming from. I'm grateful for that. Also, I might look at the things that I've been eating. Are they for my best and highest good? Is this something that's been really aiding my body? Do I feel like I need to shift anything within the things that I've been eating? So things like that, where you're really just kind of going through in depth. It's almost doing like a KonMari cleansing or whatever, but mostly taking stock about what you have, who's in your life, what are you doing with those people, what are you doing with those material things or that food that you have in your life. And again, just showing gratitude, or what are you going to release? What are you going to transmute? What are you going to rework? It's a wonderful time for that. And also today, remember, today is a forgiveness day. It's a karma day, working with ancestors. So maybe that's something that you can do in the astral while we're looking at what's going on in the physical this week. So anyway, that is cool. I'm going to keep that posted right there so I can keep an eye on it and refer back to it. Okay, so let's go back here. Angela said it's divination with shells in the short. I don't know how to do that, but when I feel the card, is how I read its sign to bring more energies in and feel the outs. Understanding things in a different way. Try little things and find wisdom in little places that you normally wouldn't look. All the things have a wisdom or lesson. Sherrybug said, pull the King of Cups. Practice mastery of your emotions so that when things become rough, it's a practiced ability and you are able to work things. Oh, thank you, Susie. She says, like and subscribe. She drew divine timing. There is a quill pen and a beautiful goddess and a clock. Oh, and dragonflies. Beautiful. Kind of what I'm getting with all the cards that you guys have been pulling so far. They don't seem very like fast action oriented. These seem like also very reflective cards when we're, working with, let's say, conchomancy. You can't rush through that. You have to really intuit and feel through it. Intuit and feel through it. I like how I'm just rhyming today. And then Sherrybug had pulled the King of Cups. Again, that's not a fiery, rushing energy. That's like a kind of sitting with things. She's talking about emotions and how working through certain things till they become a practiced ability when you're working with those emotions. Yeah, and all the other different cards you guys have been pulling is just amazing. And then Susie, a quill pen, a clock, dragonflies. I don't see those things as fast. When you're writing with a quill pen, you cannot write fast. Or when you're writing with a fountain pen, which I have, not a fountain pen, yeah. It's slow and deliberate, just like the ticking of the clock. It just maintains its rhythmic speed, so it all just seems very Edgar says, hey you, I made it, what's up? Okay, so I'm gonna pull four cards from here, from the Happy Tarot. Like I said, I haven't busted this deck out in a minute. And let's see what we got cooked up this week, other than it being kind of slow and reflective. Angela said dragonflies stay put larvae in the water for up to 3 years sometimes. Wow. So they stay larvae in the water for up to 3 years. Wow, that's some patience. I would say that's a lot of waiting. That's cool. All right, so let's pull these four cards here. See what we got this week. Boom. 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 Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room and spend the night together from now until forever. Boom, boom, boom. Anybody listen to the Banta buses coming? Anyway, okay. All right, so we have our four cards. I have them face down so that we can look at these one by one together. Okay, so first card, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Angela said, I have 4 out of each deck. Are we reading them at once or one at a time as we go? I'm going to show them off one at a time, but I ultimately end up, I think, just reading them all together as one unit. But if I get anything individually from a card, I'll probably say it too. But you guys do kind of what works for you. So if you want to read each card individually or read them all together or read them 2 and 2, totally up to you. Dude, I can't stop rhyming today. What am I, like the rhyme master right now? Edgar says, I got a heavy, got any heavy wands on hand? My roommate is irritating me. Here we go, Edgar. Susie said 4 flew out. Okay, Edgar, here we go. We're just going to put a little light circle all around you. And we're going to fill the room that you're in. I'm supposing you're in your room in light. And we're going to ground your energy. Okay, and then anchoring it to all four corners of the room. Okay, maybe. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Okay, then our second card, let's see. Susie said, intention. She holds a flat bowl and water slowly pours out. Susie is sending Edgar love. Angela's like, damn, the vampires just made me happy cry. Dude, vampires deck. James and I know this is a heavy hitter deck. Susie's like, that roommate. Angela said, I'm going to read them all four at once. I feel like they're one message. Okay. That's usually what I do too. Okay, and then we have for here, I have the Six of Pentacles. Edgar's like, it helped, but it'll help more if it flies at his head. Wow. Roommate troubles. Actually, you know, James's cousin is having some roommate issues at the moment as well. Susie says, I'm going in the order in my stack of 4. Okay. Interesting. I have 2 Pentacles cards so far. And then we have an 8 of Swords. All right. I just want to mention we have 2 8s so far. One is an 8 of Pentacles, the other an 8 of Swords. And then we have a Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so right off the bat, we have 3 Pentacles cards, which are slow moving. Usually when we think of Pentacles, it's a very slow and deliberate pace, kind of like watching grass grow. It's going to take some time. We have 1 Court card, you know, with this 1 Knight of Pentacles here. I did want to mention that we had those 2 8s. And 8s to me are, it's infinity. It's the, in Mayan belief, it would be the red cord that connects everything, or like red string that connects every living thing on this earth. That's the collective consciousness. And then having a 6 here, this has everything to do with home. The number 6 deals with the 6 aspects of the home in Mayan numerology. But here we have it as the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, and then we only have 1 non-Pentacles card, and that is a Swords card. Okay, so with all of that in mind, then we can dive into this and do a little bit of a channeling on the cards that I have here. Okay, but I just wanted to point out just stuff that stood out to me. Let's see. Angela said, so the vampire stack is her last day in the past is a prison death, rights and reason reversed. Susie said, guardian angel, a woman over the shoulder of a young woman, very peaceful energy. And Angela said, it feels like they're saying, you don't need to dwell on what's scaring you. You don't have to hide or do this alone. It's the end of a harsh situation, and reason reversed is saying you don't need a reason to reach out and ask for help, just do it. And Cherrybug said 8 of Swords is my favorite minor tarot suit tarot card. You know what, I will have to say I've always liked the Swords suit. I know it has maybe the, I don't know, some of the imagery isn't as bright and lively as the imagery in the other suits, but I like swords, and so does James. Like, so if there's a good sword suit and a good Fool card, chances are I'm probably gonna like a particular deck. Okay, so let me dive into this. So again, it's the 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords, and Knight of Pentacles. And Susie said, Faith, a young girl with a black bird, again feels very calm. A lot of this peaceful energy. Edgar's like, what the hell? Nothing but swords here. 5 swords, 10 of Swords reversed, 6 of Wands, and 7 of Swords. Well, Edgar, you did say that you're being irritated by your roommate. That could be messing with your mental energy there. Okay. All right, so let me dive into this. Okay, interesting energy for this week. So remember I said for the theme card, we had this very still type energy, this reflective type energy, just kind of looking at your physical world. And interesting that we had the Pentacles cards pop up, because that is the material world, that is the physical world, and that's also more of a slow moving energy. You know, 3D is a very dense energy, it's a dense vibration. And you know, as we go higher, not really higher, but just in outer dimensions, you know, the vibration is a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Hence why sometimes it's hard to see physically in the 3D, those dimensions. But again, we have this kind of slow moving, grass growing type energy. And so in this reflective time, this is a wonderful opportunity to take a look at the things that you love to do for others. How are you helping others? How are you aiding yourself? How are you aiding humanity? What are the things that you do to help? This doesn't necessarily have to be connected to the job that you have, but this is also a good time maybe to look at the job that you have. What are you doing for a career? What are you doing for money, or the energetic exchange needed in order to keep a roof over your head and food on your belly and, you know, clothes on your back? Is this something that you feel, and if we're talking about career here, is this something that you feel is in alignment with your highest purpose, with your higher self? Is this something that fills you with joy and light every day that you're doing it? Do you feel like you're helping people when you do this job? Do you feel that the interactions that you have with people are positive, for the best and highest good, for healing? This is not to say that everybody needs to be in a, let's say, spiritual type job, but let's take a look at a job that we may have. Let's say I worked in retail, and although maybe that doesn't appear to be, you know, a highly spiritual job, what is it that I'm selling in retail? Are those goods helping people in some fashion or another? Is my interaction with the customers helping in some form or another? Are we having deep conversations? Are you filling them with some sort of positivity, some love, or some light in some particular way? Are you able to do this in your job? Do you want to continue what you are doing for your work at the moment? If you feel that this is something you want to move away from, you would like to do something else, have you already started taking steps towards it? Are you brainstorming? Did you write it all down? Have you spoken your intentions out loud yet about what it is that you want to do? And now looking away from the career aspect and just looking into what you do as a hobby, or just what you do every day. When you interact with other people, whether it's out on the road, grocery store, how are you interacting with other people? Do you feel it's in their best and highest good? Are you trying to help? What are you saying? What are you thinking? What vibes are you giving off? In what way are you offering your gifts to the world? In what way are you using those gifts to also help yourself, to heal yourself, to aid yourself? The Eight of Swords card that came up makes me feel as though people are maybe waiting for a purpose, waiting for somebody to tell them if they're on the right path, waiting for somebody to tell them what their mission is. And really, many of us already know it through feeling it. We know when we do a particular thing, when we light up and it just feels really good, that's the direction. Those are the little inclinations and the hints that we get that we're headed in the right way. Whenever something brings us this Eight of Swords type mentality, whenever we feel closed off and frustrated, like I feel more soul deadening than I do soul living, then maybe that's a direction that we don't want to go. And if it's a direction we don't want to go, we need to ask ourselves what brought us there in the first place. What connection was made? Is there something I need to heal within myself in order to release this vibration that I'm in? And perhaps also giving thanks because perhaps what you are doing now served you back then. So thank it for it being there when you needed it. Maybe it's time to move on to something else. So again, this is just a reflective period, and that Knight of Pentacles that I saw is this kind of moving forward towards something that is a little bit more heart-based, whether you make it a career or you're doing it on the side in your everyday. And just know that there's no need to rush at this time. Take your time with this. Feel through it. I'm also recalling Sherry Bug's King of Cups that she had pulled. And that watery energy of the Mermaids oracle that Angela was using earlier. Okay. Let's see, let's go back here. Whew. Oh my goodness, I missed a lot here. Okay, so Susie said for the final card, she got Intuition Quiet, the beautiful goddess woman with a beautiful headdress. Angela's like, maybe put the swords down and think, no stabby stabby. Sharebug's like, I pulled the High Priestess, 2 of Pants, the Wheel of Fortune, and a 3 of Wands. I feel like there is a bigger message. I have to think about it later. Edgar's like, well, at least I'll come out victorious. And Susie said, and it is at night with a bridge in the background. Ooh, beautiful. And Susie's saying, Edgar, you will. Edgar's like, 2 of Pants. You mean Pentacles? Oh, we like to say the 2 of Pants around here. Oh, Susie using her special emojis. Billy's like, retail tests the patience of a saint. And Edgar's like, so does customer service. Susie's like, out loud, this is so true. Lily said, Teles is my kid's last name. Hi, fam. And Susie's like, synchronicities. Angela said, I just pulled energy field adjustment from the Mermaids time to reattune ourselves and reevaluate. Make sure to do your protective rituals. And Edgar said, so he is of the stars as well. Teles means from the stars. And Angela said, and make sure to read the energies that come close, including your own, so you know where you won. And Lily's like, oh, okay, maybe not there, Daddy. Oh my goodness. Edgar says, I think it says I need to think of myself and not let others' selfishness affect me. There you go. And Sherrybug says, I have definitely been feeling the pull to start focusing on the energetic of my life, as I have been very focused on the physical world the past couple of months. Yeah, so I mean, it's going to look different for each of us if we do decide to do a bit of reflection this week. But yeah, I think it's going to be beneficial. I'll do it too, you know, and I'll report back next Sunday how it went. But yeah, I'm going to look at like all the things here. What am I doing? You know, what am I, even with my channel, what did I start off doing? What was my intention? What are my intentions now? What's my intention with Desert Cauldron, this new channel that we're going to be opening up? Like, what's the intention with that, you know, and thinking of the people that I surround myself with and all of that. So great reflective time. Okay, I also have my charms here, so let's go ahead and pull some elemental messages. So we're going to take a look at, whoa, what's going on here? My watch just like buzzed me. Okay. Okay. But we'll take a look at fire signs, water signs, earth signs, air signs. So these are your zodiac signs, you guys. So let me know where the fire signs are at, you know, whether it's your sun, moon, rising, maybe elsewhere in your chart, where the water signs at, where my earth signs at, and my air signs. Wish I had some earth in my chart. But anyway, so we'll go ahead and pull a charm for each of those so that you get a little bit more, I would say, individualistic message for the week. Angela said, I just pulled Song of the Siren from the Mermaid deck. Listen to the songs of the energies calling to you. While you don't have to follow, if you want to make sure you do. I just got mermaid statues yesterday for my altar and moved one to where I'm sitting to be near me. Very cool. Joss said, I also had pulled the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. After we do this reflection, we can then share our energy as we see it or see fit. That's so cool. All right, so Susie coming in with the air and earth. I'm coming in with air and water. Let's start off with, who do we not normally start off with? I don't think we normally start off with earth signs, so let's maybe start there. Sherry Bug says, there may not be earth in your chart. Yes, but Tara is Gaelic for earth, isn't it? Yes, it is. I like literally earth is my name and no earth in the chart. That's kind of funny, actually. Angela's like, oh, I love it. It's a plan. All right, Sherry Bug coming in with the water, air. Yeah, I remember when I was younger and my mom was teaching me what my name meant, and she was showing me in this book of like Irish places or places in Ireland, and she was saying there is a fairy mound or a special magical mound in Ireland called Tara or Terra. So she was like, so on this mound, she says all kinds of magical occurrences are supposed to happen. So she kind of was saying that was me, but also there's like it's a tower kind of thing, so it's like also known as the high tower, kind of near where like the Blarney Stone is and stuff like that. And also she was saying, you know, it means earth, and I was like, great mom, you named me after dirt. And she was like, not dirt, it's like terra firma, which was my nickname. She would call me terra firma, but it's like, yeah, it's earth, it's dirt, it's soil, but when you pair it with my last name, it actually is like the land of something. So so anywho, I guess they were thinking things out. Let's see. Edgar says, I've been getting called by death gods and goddesses, and death comes out a lot in my readings lately. Ooh, it must be time for transformation. Angela said, Tara is also another name Gaia is known by. Maybe she was glad to see you, and that's why you got the storm. Hey, that's true. That's true. When the sun goes down, it says, hey guys, new here. I'm all water. Well, welcome, welcome. Susie says, I always think of Claudia's beautiful Terras in her deck. I know, like the yellow Terra and the black Terra and the white Terra. I think it's super cool. Edgar's like, that or I go on a murder spree. No murder sprees, Edgar. No murder sprees. Okay, so like I said, we never really start off with earth signs, so let's go ahead and start off with earth signs. What message do we have for the earth signs this week? Okay. Oh, we have dragon fruit. I don't know if you guys can, I don't know, maybe it's too bright. But yeah, that's a little slice of dragon fruit there. Angela's like, no stabby, Edgar. I love the death god mythos. It stuns me how often they're the most gentle of their pantheon. I know, right? Okay, so dragon fruit. Let's see what this says for earth signs. Let me dive into this little charm here. Okay, so like I was saying the overall message for everyone was, taking the time to look at what you're surrounding yourself with, who you're surrounding yourself with, what type of energy, what type of physical items are you surrounding yourself with. And as you're taking inventory, I guess, or stock of your 3D life, Also, try to look more deeply into the things that sometimes we just kind of cast off of, like, oh, that's, I don't know about that. I don't think I want to do that, or I don't want to work with that crystal, or, maybe I don't want to, eat that anymore. I don't want to do that. Kind of think before casting it off or releasing it. Also look at why you release certain things. Take a look at why you want to bring in certain things. I don't know how many of you guys have actually seen what dragon fruit looks like. It's a very unusual looking fruit. It's sort of like a fuchsia, hot pink. It's got kind of like these spines. It almost looks like it has spines to it. And if just by looking at it, you might decide, I may not like that, or that looks too weird. How do you even cut it? How do you even eat it? It's just too much. I'm not even going to bother with it. Okay. Putting the price aside, because dragon fruit can be pricey. So we may just, like, if, let's say we saw this out and about, like a sherry bug and her blackberries, maybe we just saw dragon fruit growing out in the wild out there, and might decide, I don't need it because I don't understand it. So for earth signs this week, think about the things that you may just cast aside because you don't understand it. You don't know how to work with it. I don't know how to work with that person. I don't know how to work with that energy. I don't know how to work with that situation. So instead, I'm going to avoid it. I'm not telling you to avoid certain things, but if you are going to avoid things, then why are you avoiding them? Look a little bit deeper. If we go more deeply into a dragon fruit and you actually do cut it open, you notice it looks something like this. It's very unique looking. And if you actually dare taste it, you might notice it's really sweet. It kind of tastes like a kiwi. And there are other varieties, but for the most part, they have a kiwi texture, kind of a kiwi taste to them. And you might find that you really like them, but you would have never have known had you not looked further, looked a little bit deeper. So while you're doing your inventory this week, try to look a little bit deeper into the things that you want to release, the things that you want to avoid or get rid of. Why? Why are you avoiding them? Why do you want to get rid of them? Maybe it doesn't serve you anymore, but look a little bit deeper. At one point, it did serve you. And why was that? So why now does it not serve you? These are just reflective things to do, just things to journal, things to keep in mind. But for earth signs, really do look a little deeper. All right, excellent. Let's see here. Going back here. Edgar says, what if they have it coming? I would never. When the sun goes down, waving hello to everyone. And Susie saying, dragon fruit, yum. Silver Star, hey, says, good afternoon, darlings. Getting ready to head back to work. Wanted to stop by and show you all some love. Big hugs, same to you. Angela said, pulled 2 from the vampires for the earth signs, discipline and burnt by the sun. Ooh. A lot of hellos for Heather as she was popping by. Angela says, when I feel this out, it means for earth signs, don't overwork yourself. Don't get yourself backed into corners if you can avoid it, or situations where you aren't comfortable. If it's burning and hurting your energy or taking too much, you don't have to go. Very good. Surian, hey, says you look lovely. Hi everyone, just wanted to pop in and say hello. Welcome. Long time no see. Okay. All right, so earth signs, that's earth signs. Let's go water signs. All right, water signs. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio rising here. All right, let's go. Water. Water everywhere and not a drop to drink. Oh, okay. Looks like we have a pog. This is from my little oracle pogs. And it says Grace, kind of like Grace Jones. You guys remember her? All right, so we have Grace here. Okay, so let's see how that connects with our water signs. Grace. And actually, as I think of like Scorpios, and I think of 80s Grace Jones, with her flat top, and she was just like intense, she had a very intense look, and I thought she was so cool. Like, She just looked like she could take somebody down, you know? But yeah, that's kind of like the energy I get, I think, from Scorpios. I think if a Scorpio was a movie star, it would be like Grace Jones, like intense, you know? Okay, so here we have Grace. So let's see what this means for our water signs. Okay. um, for water signs, if you so choose to take the advice this week, as we were saying for everyone, just taking stock, taking inventory, um, instead of maybe looking at certain things, um, you know, like we did with the earth signs, you know, they may just cast certain things away because, oh, it's uncomfortable. I don't know how to use it. I don't know what to do with that or that situation or that person. So I'm just gonna, you're just out of my reality now. I encourage them to look a little bit deeper. Same for water signs, but instead of looking a little bit deeper, it's having grace for what's coming up for you when you think about that particular thing before you let it go. So let's say, for instance, I think I need to give you a little situation here. Let's say that a particular person comes up. Oh, you know who I'm going to use? I'm going to use Edgar's roommate. Sorry, Edgar's roommate. We know, as Edgar has vented here, he has issues with his roommate. Let's say as Edgar is doing a little inventory of who is in his reality, he might decide, you know, I have so much issue with my roommate, I just want to cast that person aside. I wish I could just like be gone with that person. But instead, maybe feel through it. First of all, what is keeping you in this person's energy? You know, I know that possibly having a roommate and needing a roommate might be one reason, but how did it come to be that this person was in your reality? And perhaps it was at one time, this was somebody that you really relied on and really trusted. So you have to think about that too, and having grace for that, you know, and for yourself too. Thinking about, you know, everything that transpired there, and then leading up to right now. Why does it feel like you guys are magnets opposing each other? How did that come to be? And so instead of looking at it like snip snip, you are now out of my life, being more fluid with it. And you guys can do that because you guys are water signs. Be more fluid with it. Try to look at it from the other person's perspective. Why are they acting in a particular way? Where do you think that's actually stemming from? Maybe it's nothing that you did. Perhaps it's some traumas or some core beliefs and things that possibly they need to work on if they choose to even work on that. But having a little bit of grace, understanding that they are human beings just like yourself. They're going through their own little journey, and sometimes when two people going through a really hard time meet up together, you know, it causes an even more difficult situation. So just having a little bit of grace with it, a little bit of love, yes, even for the roommate and for yourself, you know, as you guys are trying to make things work, and just kind of feeling through it, feeling through their emotions and feeling through yours. And sorry, Edgar, I was using you as an example, but anyway. Okay, so Grace Jones, like it. Okay, let's see, what else do we have here? Billy said, dang girl, I literally said that at the same time as you. Dude. And Silverstar says, okay, I do have to go. Have an absolutely beautiful day. So much love to you all. Mwah! Same to you. Have a wonderful Sunday, Silverstar. Billy's like, there for the grace of go. Susie's like, have a beautiful day. Angela's like, I'm a water sign and off the mermaids are making me happy cry. So I love the resonance of this. Everybody's sending Silverstar blessings and hugs. Susie's going to be right back. Angela said, I pulled from the mermaid soul cage and wave of power from the water signs. Annette said she was intense. Her voice, mannerisms, look, everything. pull up to the bumper, baby. I know, right? Angela's like, are you stuck in anything? If not stuck physically, emotionally, are you holding yourself back, trying to tone yourself down to make others happy? Is that making you unhappy? If it is, don't do it. Angela said, wave of power says to let the dam break, let the energy out, let yourself release. But you don't cage yourself, unbind yourself. You're free. You can control this and you can handle it. Believe in you. And Sherry Bug said, grace is one of my favorite powerful things we can do, giving yourself the grace to not be okay. And Angela said, endurance fell out as I moved to the Mermaids deck. Continue to keep going. You can go long after you can't rest. Don't quite relax and go with the flow. Let the current take you and don't fight. And Billy said, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, the other person is also you. I was going to mention something of that nature too, so I'm glad you mentioned it. Surian, thank you, thank you. And if you stick around to the end, I'll pull a card for you. So thank you, thank you. Thank you, Sherry Bug. So yay, thank you, Surian. Okay, let's go to air signs. Yes. Billy's like, literally, you're taking words out of my out of my head. I know. I'm like, wow, Billy, like we're like simpatico right now. Okay. Yeah, air signs. I think I got an air sign. Starting to say thank you for sharing wonderful vibes to us. You're very welcome. Thank you guys for being here. I mean, there would be no vibes if nobody here, right? Okay. Interesting. This is for air signs, but we have a crayfish, which is kind of like a water sign thing, but that's interesting. Surian said, yes, air sign. Angela's like, we're all resonating together and it's awesome. Billy's like, literally, I was doing that me, you, him thing too. Jeez. Billy? Angela's like, vampires or mermaids for this one? I'll let the chat pick. If it's me, I would go with vampires, but yeah, let the chat pick for vampires or mermaids. Okay, so for air signs, we have this little crayfish. And Surian saying hello to all my air sign peeps. Susie's like, that's the one you found camping. It is actually, yeah, this was when we first went camping out to Payson. I found this little guy on the ground. So Sherry Bug's like, could be a lobster, like on the moon card. That's true. Billy's like, exactly that hand sign. Okay, Lily said the vamps. Sherry Bug also says vampires. My vampire homie is in the house. Okay, so let's go air signs. Let's see. Okay, so during this very reflective week that we may possibly have for the air signs, it feels like upon reflection of certain people in our lives, certain situations, which brings up some memories of the past, there may be a tendency, like the crayfish or lobster, to put up this exoskeleton around our mind and be like, oh, that's, I'm not ready to think about that. I don't want to deal with that. So I'm just going to build this like little Fort Knox and we're just going to push that right off. Like, you know, think Bob Ross voice here. We're just going to push that right off right now. We're not going to deal with that. No, instead, I'm going to start painting happy clouds. Sure. I mean, sometimes when we're not feeling ready to work with things, we might table it for another time, but we don't shut it down completely and say, I'm never going to work on that, because how else are we supposed to progress and supposed to heal? So air signs, whoever air signs may be in your chart, if this week you find yourself shutting down, somebody says something, somebody does something, some situation happens, and you decide that I'm not dealing with that right now. I'm just going to become a brick wall and we're just going to like not deal with that. And we're not going to look back. We're not even going to look into it. I beg you not to do that. Air signs. Maybe not dealing with it in the moment, but later, especially that day, I think later that day would be more beneficial. Maybe give yourself 5 minutes, 5 hours, I don't know, but definitely go back to it and start asking yourself, why did all of a sudden I put up my brick wall? Why do all of a sudden I feel very uncomfortable when so-and-so said this, or when I was confronting this particular situation, or even when I was looking in my refrigerator and I was looking at certain foods and something started nagging at me and I was like, nope, I'm not dealing with that right now. I'm not dealing with that thought or that feeling. Not right now. So if you feel like yourself doing that, okay, in the moment you pushed it off, but then go back later. Why was a certain feeling coming up? What was it trying to tell you? Why were certain thoughts coming to mind? What are they trying to tell you? Where are they actually stemming from? Instead of deciding that something is just too difficult and that you're never going to deal with it. Things tend to snowball the more that we put off things. And I think we all know this, especially like putting off healing. The lesson just keeps coming and coming, and the lesson keeps coming louder and louder and louder, kind of like the thunder that I was hearing in my tent when I was camping, until we are forced to listen. So before it gets to that point, maybe do a little bit of check-in later when you feel more grounded, when you feel more at ease, and more apt to think about the situation from a more calm perspective. But don't push it off forever is the message. Okay. All right. Let me just readjust my leg here. My leg pushed backwards. Anywho, so we have our fire signs. Fire signs last this time. Let's go back here. Susie's like, I have a good memory. You do. Angela said, thirst discipline reversed and ancient from the vampires came out. And Susie's like, Bob Ross. And Syrian said, thank you. I needed to hear this. Been a sad week for me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully, come in here, get a little healing, a little high vibes, Angela said, air signs, are you wanting something, craving something? Is it good for you? Is it not good for you? You have to eat and drink to survive, but don't poison yourself or harm others doing it. Susie sending Syrian hugs. And Joss says, I've been watching the Bob Ross channel on TV at night before bed. Dude, I love me some Bob Ross. When the sun goes down, said, pulled, we are the world. And Zen Tarot says, this is a time of communication and sharing riches with everyone. Go without fear of sharing feelings, dreams, and thoughts. Billy's like, I got a scary thing on Tuesday, relates big time. And Angela said, I feel drawn to say we can take a drink without doing harm. So can you. You don't have to deny yourself everything, says discipline. You don't have to deny yourself enjoyment. So Billy holding safe space for Syrian. And Angela says, just take in moderation and don't harm while doing it. Sounds like good advice. Susie's like, nagging food. And Angela said, ancient hints that maybe this is something old that you're, like your souls, that you're thirsting for old knowledge, old memories, old recipes, things you haven't experienced in a while, you haven't let yourself. As long as it won't harm you or others, just enjoy a little. And Syrian said, feeling the lovely vibes from everyone. Thank you, fam. And Billy said, talking of Bob Ross, anyone else think the tree he puts on the side of paintings reminds me of antelope horns? Yes, like when he's first doing it, I think like, what craggy little horns is he making until it becomes a tree? Yes, I agree. Okay, lastly, we have fire signs. Oh, okay. All right then. This is hugs for all who need them. Okay, so this must have gotten perhaps melted in here a little bit. Anyway, so this is an eye. No, not like an eye, but like eye, Okay, so let's see what this means for fire signs. Eye. I alone. I'll let everyone pick up again for this vampires or mermaids. Um, I would go mermaids this time, but I'll let you guys pick. Okay, so let's see. Fire signs. Okay, fire signs, I get taking responsibility, definitely with the I. So, as maybe you're doing some reflection, taking some inventory, um, the ego, and it's all ego. Our higher self would never speak this way, but our ego may decide that some of the things that maybe we're less than satisfied with in our life is somehow, and it's not for everybody, but I'm just saying, somehow we might believe that it's somebody else's fault. I'm feeling this way because somebody else made me feel this way. Now I just have to feel this way, and this is kind of what I'm getting. I'm in this particular situation, but it's not my fault. It's this, and then if this person would have done this, then I wouldn't be in this situation. I have childhood trauma. It's not my fault. It's the fault of my parents, and it's all their fault that I'm like this. And although we do have to hold others accountable for their actions and the things that they do, and we do have to recognize that, we also have to recognize our reaction, which is 100% our choice. We choose how we feel, we choose how we react, we choose what our next steps are going to be. So let's say there's a childhood trauma. I am somebody who has some childhood traumas that I'm working through. Instead of saying, oh, well, I'm just, I can't heal from that, and I can't, do X, Y, and Z because my mom did this, my father did this. It's all their fault. So in essence, by doing that, you give somebody else all of the power, and you take the power out of your hands, your power to heal yourself, your power to, transmute it into light, transmute it into something else, whatever horrible situation it was. So yes, if something happened, let's say in childhood, there's nothing much a child can do when, the parents or something are doing something awful to the child. Yes, we know this, and they are at fault. But when the child becomes older, now the child is an adult and they have to work through these things, do they remain in the past? That little child who feels helpless and continuing to suffer the trauma over and over again, when we do that, then that is our choice. It's not saying that we release all, everything that the parents did. It was not okay to act that way and for a child. But then we have to think about how much am I just carrying it with me as a chip on my shoulder, just so I can have resentment, just so I can have an excuse for the things that I'm doing now. So in essence, put the power back into you. You have the power to heal yourself and say, you know what, that was not okay, what they did when they were a child, but I'm not going to let that affect my life moving forward. I'm going to heal that. I'm not going to allow them to continue to have that power over me. I don't want anybody to have a power over me. I am my own power. And so that's how we translate it and transmute it into something more positive. When we reclaim our power, we take it back. So let's say, again, we put it into a different situation, fire signs. Maybe you are in a living situation that is less than ideal. Instead of saying it's his fault, her fault, their fault, I'm in this situation, what are you doing to take steps to get out of the situation, instead of just sitting there and waiting for Superman or Supergirl or something to come by and save you? How are you giving your power away in that situation, and how can you reclaim your power so that maybe you can work to getting out of that particular situation? It may not be immediate, but at least you can take steps towards it. So things like that. So that's what I'm getting with the I, is taking responsibility. And yes, I know sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow because it's the ego really that's doesn't want to really take responsibility. The ego doesn't want to feel like it's at fault for anything because it's an ego. Our higher self, on the other hand, wants nothing but the best for us. It wants us to, acknowledge our power, acknowledge our love, acknowledge the bright light that's inside of us, and it wants us to heal. And then we can transmute that and heal the people around us. We shine our light much brighter. So our higher self would like us to have our power within us. Our ego would like the power to be outside of us. So just a little message for our fire signs there. So I alone. Okay, let's go back here. Susie said licorice. Sarian picked mermaids. And Susie said, reminds me of candy. I sort of live in La La Land sometimes. And Angela says, I guess we go with mermaids. And Sarian's like, La La Land can be a nice place. And Sarian says, I daydream a lot. Me too. Angela says, oh wow, love their messages. We got sanctuary, time out, and the present from the mermaids. Billy says, when you rely on others for your happiness, when you say you give them the power to take it away again. Exactly. Angela said, instead of letting everything eat you up, find a safe sanctuary to release what you need. What does healing mean to you for your ritual baths, candles? Do you need to cry? Crying is so powerful. It's not a weakness. That is very true. Even Mother Nature screams sometimes. What I was once told a story by my great-grandmother, that storms were just the divine releasing energy, not with intent to hurt, but because everyone just sometimes has to cry and scream and release. That is beautiful. I like that. Time out. It's okay to say no. No, there is power in saying no, or I won't go. That seems to be a theme. Take time out, even if it's a mental time out, but you can say no. Yeah, so a lot of this like slow energy this week. And it said, girl, that was in complete alignment with Miss Reading. Thank you. I needed that. All right. I'm glad you dug it. Angela said, the power in the word no, or I don't want to, is powerful in its own way. And Joss said, thank you for all your messages. I think they all relate somehow this week. Yay! I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. I would like to pull actually now from my deck of color the special question. So if you guys, those of you who are new, don't know what the special question is, over on my channel's page, I post 4 questions, and then I have people vote on them, which question they like the best, and then that's the question that I pull cards for during the live chat. So you have a chance to vote. However, if you are a YouTube member, hello YouTube members, or you are a patron on my Patreon page, then you guys get 2 votes in essence. So Patreon folks get to vote there, but then they also get to vote on the channel page. YouTube members get to vote in their own little voting poll, and then they also get to vote on the member page. I mean the like universal page, the one that everybody gets to vote on. Community page, there we go. So in essence, 2 votes. So anywho, Angela said, the present, remember you're not there in the past or there in the future. You're here to be here. Enjoy here. If you need a hug, there is one here. We are all here for a reason. And Sarian said, that's so cute, Billy. Billy said, seriously resonating with so many of these themes this week. And Susie said, pretty bag. Is that a Kelly bag? Actually, no, this one I got, this is a long time ago. I don't know if it's still there, but it's an Etsy shop called My Grandmother's Hands. And so it's actually somebody's grandmother that makes these, and they put like a little quartz crystal there. So yeah, My Grandmother's Hands. Maybe check them out, but Peggy bags, I do love those too. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a shuffle here, and then I'm gonna read you guys the question that you guys ultimately voted on. So here we go. The question is, how are negative entities courting into me? How are negative entities courting into me? Because last week we were talking about a lot of people are under psychic attack. Bad dreams, waking up with bruises, scratches. Everybody, we all seem to, like a bunch of us had all like hurt our back on the same day, almost at the same time. So definitely there's a lot of negative energy floating around, and I think that's because there's so much positive energy floating around, meaning positive polarity. You know, there are so many people like really like leveling up, and you know, things are changing for them. So as the light is shining brighter for many people, and more people are waking up, it feels like many more negative energies, or energies that maybe weren't so visible before, are trying to cord in and stop that light from being. So let's see how they're cording in, because usually I think they, for the most part, may cord in through our traumas, through our unhealed areas, you know, so they can be the voice of negativity in our head, and not say the kindest of things. Sarian says, yep, that's a deep question. All right, so how are negative entities cording in? Let's shuffle these cards up here. I like the backs of these cards. Angela said, maybe you all injured yourselves at the same time, so the first one who got hurt didn't feel lonely and you could heal each other together thing my great-grandmother would tell me. Yeah, you maybe, so we can, it's like a sympathy hurt. We all get hurt together. Okay, let's see here. How are negative entities cording in? Okay. All right. Oh, innocence. And it's this beautiful lavender, like a really light lavender color. Let's see. Let me channel this one. What does this mean? Innocence. Interesting. Okay, so what I'm getting is actually, you know how we talk about all of us having an inner child, and this inner child, you know, the one that basically was the little sponge soaking up the environment, soaking up the people around us, learning from them, not only language, but how we basically handle ourselves in the world, how we speak to ourselves, how we speak to others, how we feel, the people that we feel are best for us, you know, in terms of maybe romantic partners and friends. We learn all this at a very, very young age, like going all the way back. We start listening to it while we're in utero. And then once we are, you know, an infant, we're already taking in mass amounts of information coming in energetically from the people that are closest to us, but also the things that we're hearing, even if we don't quite understand the language yet. And so with all of this, think about the things that we've been healing with that inner child, the deconstructing of societal programming, the programming that was there, put in place by the education system, by our family. Not saying that anybody was malevolent, but sometimes with the best of intentions, people can still do harm. And once we're able and old enough, we try to heal that. And so as we're working on healing these things, we have certain parts of the wounded child inside that are open to negative energy and are attracted to that negative energy. So let's give for instance, if there is a wounded child inside who believes that they are basically no good, they don't deserve good people in their life. It's, you know, the low self-esteem. I don't deserve good friends. I don't deserve a good partner. I don't deserve the nice things that people do for me. That would be one way that a negative entity would want to cord in. It finds that little that little spot within you that says, oh, there's some low self-esteem. He or she thinks that they're no good. I'm going to tap into that, because that lowers their vibration. So it feeds into that. And so now what you think are your thoughts, which are not really, it's that little whisper in your ear, of somebody does something nice for you. Oh, I didn't deserve that. You don't deserve that. Oh, what makes you think that you're so special? Those nasty little things that, we hear. And if you start to feel yourself going into that thought process of, I didn't really deserve that, or, what makes me so special? I'm not good enough for that. Who's really talking? Is that you? Because if that were your heart, your higher self, it wouldn't speak to you in that manner. That's something else. That's something else feeding you lies, and it's courting in through a place that needs healing. That's why it is so important that we heal as much as we can. And so if we know this now, if we know that many of us are suffering psychic attack from negative entities courting into us through our inner child, then it's time for us to start asking our inner child, show me where they're connecting to you. And you can even imagine yourself as a little child and tell them to point on their body. Show me where they're coming in. Maybe they point here. They point right at their heart. Oh, okay, so the negative entity is coming in through here. Let's look at what's needing healing in my little kid heart. If it's up here, what is needing healing in my little kid mind? So this might be time for a good conversation. As we're having this gentle week of reflection, speak to your inner child. Show me where they're hurting you. Show me where they're coming in. And then we work on healing that. No judgments. It's just, we're human beings. We have stuff to heal. And so maybe you can even thank that negative entity. Hey, thanks for letting me know I needed to heal this. And also sayonara. And so that way they don't get in again. All right. Interesting. Just a little teary on that one. Okay. Let me go back here. Serene said, yep, that's a deep question. Angela said, maybe you, oh, yeah, sorry, I read that one. So Angela was grabbing the vamps to see how we can get negative courting things off. It says, they hate that I notice with my vampire decks, if I'm in a negative location, they get very protective. The energy ramps up. I find it so strange. They're normally depicted as villains. And Serene's like, heart our moderators. Yes, thank you, you guys. Angela said, when the energy seems often protective, my first deck was House of Night, a beautiful vampire deck. Le Vampire was my second vampire deck, which is what I'm using now. Very cool. Billy said, hashtag mean girl, the voice of anxiety and depression. Yes. And Angela said, dang, this question made them bare their protection teeth. And thank you, Susie, for helping us out there. Angela said 6 cards came out: primal, jealousy, supernatural, sacrifice, witness, resurrection. And Josh said, so powerful. Angela said, these things wish they had your energy sometimes. People vilify what they don't understand or what they wish they could be more like. So if they can't be it, they try and make others hate it. Supernatural and sacrifice, hint and maybe time to do some rituals and workings. And Susie's like, protection magic, yes. So yeah, you guys can definitely still do, take protective measures, protect your energy, do protective magic, work on your grounding. I'm still trying to figure out how to continue to protect my energy, and it kind of seems like it shifts and changes all the time. So yeah, definitely alongside doing your healing work as well. Okay, so we've come to the point where I have my Seeds of Shakti here, where you guys get to vote live here in the chat. So I have two questions. I'm going to have you guys vote with emojis. So either a red heart emoji or a green heart emoji. If you're not near your cell phone with emojis, then just type the words red heart or type the words green heart. Okay, here we go. Angela says, so guys, ask the vamps if you feel safe with that kind of energy. All right. So here are the questions. So if you like question number 1, please vote with a red heart emoji or type the words red heart. What ancestral karma can I work on releasing and healing this week? Remember, because I was talking about today is Ten Kib, which is about forgiveness, ancestral work, karma, all of that stuff. Okay, question number 2. If you like this question, vote with a green heart emoji or type the words green heart. What can I do if I am under psychic attack? And I think we just kind of talked about that too, but hey, I threw that in there anyway. Okay, so the questions again. Question 1, red heart. What ancestral karma can I work on releasing and healing this week? Number 2, green heart. What can I do if I'm under psychic attack? All right, so here we go. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And we have our seeds of Shakti here. All right, so let's go back and do a little count. Angela's like, that's why scary beings are depicted on churches. They scare away the evil with their protective fangs. Ooh. Okay, so Lily has a red heart. Billy said, red heart, what ancestral karma can I work on releasing and healing this week? Susie has a red heart. Oh, Billy, it says green heart here. Okay. And then Sherry Bug also has a green heart. Serene has a green heart. Joss has a red heart. So we have 3-3 so far. Angela's like, yeah, I think my vampires just want that. I just did that one. Okay, Billy said, green heart. What can I do if I'm under psychic attack? Angela said there was a bit more to the vamp read you missed a bit further up for the resurrection and witness card. Oh, I did. Let's see here. That was for primal and jealousy that she was talking about way up there. Aha. Okay. Oh, Billy said, oh, red heart for her. Lily, red heart. Angela's got a green heart. Susie's like, I can't count. Billy's like, my vote is red. The others, I was just typing the options. Okay. So let's count the red hearts first. Let me go back here. So Lily, Susie, Joss, these are all red hearts. Billy, and Annette. Okay, so 5 red hearts. Let's go back in green hearts. So sorry, I'm just want to make sure. No. Surian, green heart. Billy was just kind of putting the question. Yeah, this one green heart, I think. Yeah, ultimately, I believe our red hearts won. Okay. And Sherrybook said, yeah, and that makes 5, I think. Okay, so here we go then. And Angela said the votes will pick the dead red vampires, green mermaids. Okay, brain fry, I know, right? Okay, so I believe our red hearts won. So the red hearts are, what ancestral karma can I work on releasing and healing this week? Fabulous. Okay, this one is a title card, so we're just going to put that back in the deck. Has anybody ever shuffled the deck and then pulled the title card? Surian's like, I believe it's red that got more votes. Yes. And Susie said, red hearts it is. Woo! All right. Red hearts. Here we go. Get the reds, man. Okay. What ancestral karma Can I work on releasing and healing this week? Remember that it's not a one-stop shop. We can work on it. We may not like fully get anything done this week, but at least we could start on it, start working on it. Keep those negative entities out, by the way. All right, looks like we pulled a card here, and this is Anahata. Your heart is pure, loving, and passionate. So right here in the feels, you guys. Oops, the little earrings falling off. Okay. Susie says, thank you, everyone. Angela said, sassy vamps. They gave us free will reversed. The part is a prison call for help. Sherrybug says, I would really like to know what you do if you are under psychic attack. Well, hey, you know, we can talk about that too, actually, after this one. Angela said, they literally are giving the feels, like you don't have to worry about that. The past is past, release it. But if you want to work on it, call for help and get with your spirits, get with your guides. Get with your friends and talk out some new ideas. Billy's like, oh, is there a superb song by Luke, aka see if I can find it. Saren's like, gotta go, thank you guys, I will watch this later. Oh, Sarian, by the way, even though you're gonna go, if you do watch the replay, I'll still pull a card for you at the very end. So have a wonderful week as well. All right, so again, what ancestral karma could work on releasing and healing this week? Going into our little heart center here. Okay, so what's coming through in terms of maybe karma that we have created, but also, you know, our ancestors, whether they be through our bloodline or just ancestors as human beings. Anytime we were an enemy to ourself, we're disrespectful to ourself, this is something to work on healing this week. Forgiving, releasing. Just because you were unkind to yourself in the past doesn't mean you need to continue to berate yourself about something that happened prior. What are you doing about it right now? How are you speaking to yourself now? How are you respecting yourself now? Sometimes through, it might be cultural, might be familial. They may teach us that we as a person are less than, and that there's always something that is better than us or higher than us. You know, they say respect your elders, respect your teacher, respect the leader of the country. And sometimes we say to respect them merely because of their status, because of their job title. And somehow they don't say to respect yourself. Well, it seems quite unfair that somebody is just handed over respect just because of the money they make, their job title, or the mere fact that they are your mother and father. Remember that respect is earned. Earn the respect of yourself. Other times we are taught that we need to love this person, love that person, show love here. But how do they teach us to love ourselves? To that, we look to those that were closest to us, our family members, our friends. How did they love themselves? If that was not shown to you, then perhaps there were some bad habits that you picked up. In which case, you're privy to it now. You understand it now, you see it now. So let's work on doing what they could not do, or what they didn't do. And if they're still alive, maybe they can learn from you by seeing how you respect yourself, how you love yourself, how you talk about yourself. Even when we're joking sometimes about ourselves, we put ourselves down even in our jokes. Maybe it's time to even change the jokes that we make about ourselves. Because our words, as they are like spells, solidify. Whatever we believe on the inside, we speak on the outside, therefore solidifying that belief on the inside. So something to work on this week, going into your heart space, going into the heart chakra. How do you respect yourself, and how are you currently loving yourself? These are things to take a look at, and just things to work on healing. And remember to be gentle with yourself. Just because you acted a particular way in the past, or you did something in the past that maybe you're not proud of, doesn't mean you need to continue to reprimand yourself in the present. You just say, okay, I learned it. I'm not going to do that again. I release that. Why? Because I respect myself too much to repeat that mistake. I respect myself too much to berate myself for something that I can't go back into a time machine DeLorean and go into the past and fix. I can't do that. All I can do is what I'm doing here in the present. And I'll make those changes in the present. Because I love myself. Because I respect myself. All right. Ooh, that's a doozy. Getting all liquid eye here. Okay. Whoo. All right. So I know Sherry Bug was asking about psychic attack. Maybe something that we can do. So we were talking earlier about sometimes when you talk about psychic attack, it's energies, low vibing negative energies, sometimes courting into us. And so one way we're looking at them courting in is through our childhood traumas. So, working on that could also help with psychic attack. Also, I would say multiple times throughout the day, making sure you're as grounded as possible. Do an energy check-in throughout the day, not just morning and night, but kind of throughout the day. And this is something that, I kind of have to start doing more and more now too. Really, when you really do get to know your own energy, you know when there is an energy presence there that is not yours. Like those feelings that I have, I don't think they're entirely mine, or those thoughts that I'm having, I don't think it's entirely mine. In which case, then you need to okay, bring myself back to present, ground. Where are those thoughts coming from? If I can't really pinpoint it, then it's like, you know what, I don't think that's not me, or these feelings that I'm having, can't really pinpoint, that's not me. It's not my normal feelings and emotions trying to tell me something. This is something different. In which case, maybe, time for stop, drop, and cleanse. Cleansing the energy, claiming your space wherever it is. I don't care if you're in Target or whatever. And this doesn't have to be out loud, but just like, I am commanding you to leave me alone. This is not my energy. I release it now. These are not my thoughts. I release them now. And it's just a continual reclaiming of your space. If it helps you to work with crystals, you can work with crystals, carry them with you. If it helps you to create a mojo bag, a little witchy mojo bag of herbs that you think are very protective, that are going to help you out, give you the strength to continue to reclaim your space. When under psychic attack, you could do that. You can make sure that you do like a house clearing in whatever way feels best for you to clear your home, clear your space when you're sleeping, your bed. Maybe have a nighttime ritual, something where you just feel grounded, clear within your body before you actually put your head down on the pillow. So a lot of different ways, but you guys can put your 2 cents here too. That's why we're in the live chat. So if you guys have some ideas on that, definitely let us know here. Okay, I'm gonna scroll back because I missed a many things. Everybody was saying bye to Syrian. And then Billy put a link here. So seriously, watch this later. It's a beautiful song. Will do. And Billy said, Anahata, Heart Sutra, Luk Aki. And Susie says, I'll look it up, Billy. Thank you. Found out in esoteric writings, honor thy mother and father, mother the moon, father the sun. And Billy said, my healing practice is imagining me now, going back to me, then saying, I'm sorry, I can't change what is happening, but I will companion you through it. And then Susie says, you can also use a black candle. Angela said, drew outsider and burnt by the sun reversed. Josh says, yep, that's what I do. Angela says, it feels like they're saying it's okay to leave energies and people outside your space if they're toxic to you, hurting you. Don't waste your respect or energy. Let them learn. Susie says, you can also say, I do not consent. That's also another good one. Angela says, until their energy switches, and if it never does, good riddance. All right. Okay. So let's do a little healing. Speaking of healing, and getting us all prepped for this week, I have my drum here. Well, actually, here we go. Have my little drum. And actually, when you guys, if you do see my video tomorrow about the land clearing I did of our property up in the mountains, you'll see I'm using my little drum there as well. I just feel it's like really clearing, you know. Okay, guys, find yourselves a nice, comfortable place. You could be laying down, you could be laying on the floor, you could be sitting on the floor, sitting in a couch, sitting in a chair. Just find some place that's comfortable for you. And we're going to think about all the messages we got here. Which of them actually connected with you? What do you want to bring in this week? Do you want to work on reflection this week? Helping to slow yourself down? Do you want to work on some inner child stuff this week? Just think about what is your intention and what are you going to release? What are you going to look into? Think about those individual messages we got too for those elemental readings. So think about all that, and I'll just kind of walk you through a nice, quick little meditation. So go ahead and just relax. We don't need to be anywhere right now but here. If you feel called to, go ahead and close your eyes. Just bring your awareness back into your body. And if you're laying down or sitting up, just make sure that your spine is as straight as possible. Just imagine it like the tree of life, and we're going to be receiving all this healing from the top of the tree and also coming up through the roots, through the bottom of the tree, which is our spine. And bring your awareness also to your breath. Just feel the rise and fall of your chest. If your shoulders are stiff, allow them to relax away from the ears. Allow the neck to become malleable. Let the arms just rest at your sides or in your lap. Relax the hands, the fingers, feeling that watery, relaxing energy washing down our legs, our hips, our feet, and our toes. Just feeling so relaxed, almost so relaxed we could fall asleep. But keep your awareness, try not to fall asleep. And we're going to go ahead and work on some deep breathing. We're going to let that beautiful oxygen help to fill every cell, every organ, everything in our body. We're going to help to fill it all up with that breath. So here we go. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, all the way in through the throat, into the lungs, into the diaphragm, and into the stomach. Let's fill up the entire body. 1, 2, 3, and go. Hold and release. Everything all the way out. Let that belly button hit the spine all the way out until you're empty. And breathe in. And out. And continue breathing in this way, focusing all your intention on the inhale. How does it feel? How does it feel within your body? And in the exhale, how does it feel to release? How does it feel when you're empty of air? Continue to breathe in And exhale. And start focusing on your intentions. Remember this reading, all the messages that I spoke, the messages that our friends in here spoke. Which of them resonated with you? What do you want to do with this week? What is your intention this week? How do you want to utilize its energy? Continue breathing that in. And also think about the things that we want to release. If we're bringing something in, surely we must release something. So what is it that you're releasing this week? Continue to breathe that in and release it out. And I encourage you to focus on grounding yourself in the way that works for you at this time, and connecting to your higher self, connecting to Source, connecting to God or Allah, whatever you want to call it. That energy that ultimately is us. It's that divine, eternal energy. To the Maya, they would call it the Nahual, the eternal spirit. Not the ego that lives and dies with the body. Not that program. That eternal spirit. Allow yourselves to ground into Gaia, terra firma. Allow the energy to come up through your energetic roots. Allow it to fill your entire body, every organ, every cell, just like the breath. And allow that energy to go up into Source, just as you bring down the Source energy, and allow it to flow through you all the way down the roots, down into Gaia. Allow her a piece of that Source energy. Allow Source a piece of that Gaian energy. And then feel those two energies within your body swirling in tandem, as above, so below. You are both finite, yet infinite. You are Earth, but you're also Source. You're human, but you are also divine. Seeming juxtapositions, but somehow the impossible made possible. If your very essence is deemed an impossibility on the 3D plane, then what other things are actually possible? right. Whew. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much, everybody who hung out with me today. Always love our live chats, love interacting with you guys, hearing the cards that you pull, seeing your intuition at work, all the beautiful messages that you guys had. I thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Sunday, and I want to thank all my patrons, my YouTube members, all my subscribers, everybody who gave this a thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. Let me go back here. I missed some of you guys' comments. Susie said, open to healing. All the lovely hearts. Susie said, please like and subscribe and share this video. Let's get Tara to 9,000 subscribers. I am very close, actually. Thank you. Lily says, you're absolutely fabulous. Slay queen. Thank you, thank you. Joss, thank you so much. All right, you guys. So I know Surian has left, but she'll be watching the replay, and I did want to pull a card for her since she so kindly and did a little super chat donation. So we'll do that, and then we'll go ahead and close up our circle here, continue with our thanks, and then yeah, you guys have a fabulous rest of your Sunday, fabulous rest of your day. All right, so Surian, for whenever you tune back in, Billy said, thank you all for making this such a safe and healing space. Yes, thank you guys so much. Thank you to my moderators. You guys are awesome. Whoops, pulled too many cards here. A little too talky here. This Tarot of the Cradle, the one I'm using for Surian. Let's see here. Okay. All right. I know, like I said, Surian already left, but we'll go ahead and pull a card for her. It says, Law of Hope. Be hopeful, spread hope. All right. Okay, so Surian, Law of Hope. You know, and like I said, this is for when Surian watches the replay, but the song that I was thinking of before I started the chat, James was talking about House of the Rising Sun, you know, and so now that song is like stuck in my head, and here we have like this little rising sun here. But Surian, what I see this is a rising power within you. It's actually a power that's already been there. It's always been there. But sometimes our ego, our traumas, all of this sometimes can deaden that solar plexus energy, that power, that sun power that's within us, where we have all of our confidence, our knowing exactly who we are. So people can't say nah to what we are, because it's a non-truth. I mean, you know, how can their words affect us if we know for sure that they don't resonate with us at all? It's only when words, or, you know, what people may say that may actually resonate with us, even at a deep core, that they can hurt us. So with this hope, it feels as though your understanding of your inner power has been on the rise. And so things that have once resonated with a person who didn't quite understand their inner power, that all that stuff, all those people, situations that once resonated with you at one time don't seem to resonate anymore. So you might notice there's more conflict or friction within your workspace, within maybe family, friends, environments. It's just more friction. And why is that? Because you don't actually resonate with certain situations or people anymore, or even that job. So this is not a bad thing. It's showing that you're growing and changing. Your vibration is changing. So of course there's going to be some sort of discord. But this week is, like we said, a lovely week for reflection. How do you feel about certain people in your life, certain situations, that job, and what can you do about it? Reclaim that power. And what are you going to release? What do you want to bring in more of to bring things more into alignment with that powerhouse that you're finding within yourself? And maybe you don't actually know this at a conscious level, but it's there, it's growing. All that healing that you've been doing, it's been working. And so that's why it appears as though, like I said, there's more friction going on with things that no longer resonate, but used to at one point. At which point we can say, well, I have gratitude for all the things that it gave me in the past, but it's just not working out for me now. And so the empowering thing to do would be to maybe write down, what are your goals now, your aspirations? What do you want to release? Who do you want to release? Why do you want to release them? What do you want to bring in? Why do you want to bring that in? I think that if you could start to make changes that are more in alignment with you, you start to notice that this wealth of confidence, this power within you, you start to feel it even more at a conscious level. You start to feel more confident in your decisions and the way that you're going about things, because now you're starting to pick up momentum, going in a direction that is more suited to you at this point in time. All right, so thank you, Surian. Thank you, everyone. Like I said, thank you for everybody who joined me today. Annette said, smash the likes. Thank you. Ishani said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. So yeah, like I said, have a wonderful week, you guys. I'll ask you next Sunday how your week went. Let me know if anybody ends up using any sort of blackberry. We're gonna go ahead and close up this circle. So here's our candle. You guys make a wish for the week. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And so it is. Billy said, namaste, one and all. I'm going to use that inner Mongolian quartz that we have at Desert Cauldron. I'm going to close up this circle. So thank you, elementals at the north, for helping us with our circle today. Thank you, elementals of the west, for helping us with our circle today. Thank you, elementals of the south, for helping us with our circle today. And thank you, elementals of the east, for helping us with our circle today. Our circle is closed, but our circle still remains. As above, so below, as within, so without. Merry meet, merry part, merry we do and meet again. And so it is. All right, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you. And like I said, thank you to not only my subscribers, but thank you to everybody who came into the chat, all the new folks that we got to meet. And thank you to my YouTube members. So Susie, who's actually one of our moderators, Lisa, Heather, who got to pop in momentarily, Kayla was here at one point. And thank you to all my patrons. So Michelle, Surian, who was here, Brandy, V, Samara, Kirsten, Kayla, Jason, Charles, and Brian. Thank you all so much, and I will catch you next time. All right, don't forget, check out tomorrow's video for the land clearing up on our property. So catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.